Hi guys, not sure if I've got anyone here on the line. I'll have to apologize in advance for the huge delay we've got here with YouTube Live. I was hoping for a much more collaborative environment, but I'll try something else in the future. If you want to grab me, probably the best place will be the comments section just to the right of the YouTube video. So if you fire through any questions you have throughout the session, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'll just get through the edit and try and keep an eye out for your comments as they come up. So today I was going to work through this image here that I posted up on Instagram, along with a few other edits of Ula with the goat. So this was actually the finished product that you're seeing here. What I'll do is create a virtual copy of this guy and aim to remove all of the edits that I've made. So hopefully shortly that guy will reset to how it was originally. Looks like I've picked up one that I've worked on prior. So I'll work on this guy here. It's the same image. So this was the raw image straight off the camera. I'll bring up the image a little larger. So as we can see here, on the whole, the image is a little bit underexposed. And that was somewhat deliberate because I was wanting to capture some of this backlighting that we can see here, particularly through Ula's hair and a little bit here around the grass. So our first objective here would be to raise some of the shadows, particularly here around the subject. So currently I'm using Adobe Lightroom. The first step I always go through will be all within this basic tab here on the right. So for starters, typically approach white balance first. To me, that looks a little bit too on the blue side. So I'd be adding a bit more warmth to that to begin with. Now, personally, I do this as a bit of an iterative process. To me, that's looking about right now. But you'll probably find I'll come back once or twice throughout the process just to tweak little things here or there. Probably also a little bit on the green side. So I'll just raise the magenta a little. But once again, I'll probably come back to this a couple of times throughout the edit. Other thing that's definitely screaming out to me is the shadows. So I'm going to start by just raising the shadows up. As you can see, that's made quite a huge difference to the subjects in the center there. Don't want to go too overboard. So one thing I do at this stage too is turn on these clipping notifiers. So J is the shortcut key. Anything here highlighted in red is detail that has been blown out of the image. So you want to minimize that, particularly in areas of the image that are of interest. I think we've lost. Sorry guys, I'm not sure how long I'd lost that for. Okay, so that's back up now. Apologies for that. Okay, so I'll continue on here. For those that missed whatever just happened there, I just raised the shadows, turn on these clipping notifications here. At this point, I'm just going to drop the blacks a little just to bring a bit more contrast. We can see here we're starting to lose a bit of detail around the lower part of the image. Also, I'll be aiming to raise these whites once again, just to get a bit more contrast. You can see I'm starting to lose some detail up around all his hair here, which I really don't want to do. So to offset that, I'll be dropping the highlights just to try and maintain that nice backlighting effect. Still losing a bit there, so I'll drop the whites back a little. Definitely don't want to be losing any detail up there. Shadows are still looking a little bit low. Clarity and vibrance is a bit of a personal preference. I usually take a little bit of a pluck around 10. Vibrance, quite similar. I'll start with 10 and see how we go from there. So in terms of the base lot of editing I do, that's pretty much the fundamental panel that I deal with. Moving down, there's some more, I suppose, intricate adjustments. This image here, I'm still finding is a little bit on the dark side. So I actually find that occasionally using these darks and lights sliders here on the tone curve can actually just help bring out a little bit more. Once again, a bit of a double-edged sword with making the image look a little bit flat if you go overboard. But I find just a little, as you can see, that's quite a big difference already. Turning on and off, sorry, wrong panel. Turning on and off, I can see the difference that's made already. Pretty significant. So that's already looking probably to me around 80% of the way there. Some little tricks here, although in this image you'd have to be careful. I do occasionally use this saturation panel to bring out particular colors of interest. So in this image, I definitely like the oranges that we're seeing around here, but the problem we'll face if we go too overboard is that it's going to bring out too much orange in the skin tones. So one trick I use is this little guy here. If you click this and hover it over the image, it'll actually adjust the saturation of the color that you're hovering over. So just hold down left mouse button, raise up, and you can see there in the right panel, it's raising saturation. Already that's a little bit too much. So I'll just back that off a little. Fairly subtle at this stage. That'll probably do it at this point. I'm not too concerned about noise in this image. It's fairly crisp. I think from here, the next thing I would do is maybe just bring out some of the highlights around Ula's hair with a local adjustment. So the local adjustment brush up here is used for that purpose. So I'm just going to do some light painting just around the highlight areas. As you can see, I've got the mask overlay on here, so you'll see where I'm painting. Just going to cover these highlight areas. Here, the square bracket keys change the brush size. And just going to bring a little bit in here. All right, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I just want to try adding a little bit more saturation. As you can see, it's probably already getting excessive. To see how we're going, to switch it off and on, this button down here will toggle between on and off. As you can see, it's added a little bit. I had some sneaky shadows in here too. I'll get rid of those. That wasn't intentional. That'll probably do for now. I'm just going to zoom back out again. That's a bit too far. So the backspace key here will toggle between before and after. That's actually not taking us right back to before for whatever reason. But here's where the image is currently. I'm fairly happy with where that's sitting. Usually from here, I would take it into Photoshop and potentially add a few other adjustments. I know I mentioned during the description that I might do a bit of ColorEfex Pro. So I might just take you in there quickly to demonstrate potential filters you might want to add on top of this. So if we go to, sorry, I've switched out of here. Photo, edit in, ColorEfex Pro 4. Just waiting for that to load. Okay, just let me switch over the view because currently you guys can't see that. Won't be a second. All right, that's not looking too good, is it? Yeah, sorry guys, that image isn't coming through too well. I might have to leave this particular part of the tutorial till another time so I can work out the technical issue, but for some reason the ColorEfex Pro interface isn't coming up properly. So I'll switch back to Lightroom. So personally, I'm pretty happy with where that image is at. Fortunately, I don't think anyone's posted any questions at this stage. If anyone has any questions, just fire them through. If not via YouTube, you can always grab me on Instagram. I'll type my handle into the comment section now, but it's just at John Muir Photography. That's just come through now in the comment section. If you have any other questions, yeah, fire them on through. Definitely looking for some advice and some suggestions on other edits that I can do in the future. But until then, I'll catch you all on Instagram. See you later.